would you call yourself a mama's boy, or are you just close to your mom?
I'm just close to my mom. I don't think that I'm like I don't think I've ever been a big, like, I'm super attached to my mom. Not to say that, like, I will, like, cuddle to her hip. In fact, often me and my mother bicker a lot because we're super stubborn. But, no, I would just say I'm just really close to my mom. I appreciate her more, like I said, as I've grown up, rather than like, I'm like a suck up to my mom, because I'm not. I think that me and my mom have a relationship where now that I'm older, again, I can tell her the truth, you know what I mean, because, if I feel like my mom's not doing the right thing, or maybe she's overreacting to things, I can tell her straight to the point, Ma, you're not acting right, and things like that. I think a lot of people can't do that because of the mother-son relationship. So I think that me and my mom have become good friends, as well as mother and son has become bonding. So I think that it's less I'm a mama's boy, and more that as I've grown up, I have a better, like, adult relationship with my mother, and we have a better understanding of where we stand with each other, I guess. So my mom does everything in the world for me. Sometimes I don't give her the credit that she deserves, and that's why I made this post the other day, is that I don't often, I shout out to supporters and fans and people that, push me and stuff, but I don't actually say a lot about, like, the real behind the scenes people. My mother, when this first, became a thing in my life, was just a hobby to her, so when I said I wanted to be a professional fighter, just like my grandfather was, and other people in my family were, she was staunchly against it. She, like, in every opportunity, she told me that it was not a life that was going to be good for me, and stuff like that. And over time, she realized how happy it made me, and from there, she just became, on board 100%. So she wakes up, specifically just to make me, metabolic drinks and, bulletproof coffee, and then she'll make my meals for the day, because she knows that I'm running around all the time, so I don't have time to do it. So I'm here a lot, she's at work, and, I'll, because when everybody's gone, I have that place to myself where I can just kind of decompress and be alone, and, anything that I need, I run into trouble with camp or, cars, and she'll help me, she'll go above and beyond for me. So I really appreciate my mom more than most people in my camp, just because if I need her to do it, she'll find a way to do it, and make it happen for me. So I love my mom very, very much, and I appreciate everything that she does for me on a very everyday basis. And I've done a lot of things, but I hope that if at the end of my career, she can look back and be proud of everything that I accomplished, and it's in no small fact, part due to her. My mom's taught me a great deal about being compassionate and being empathetic, and mostly using my head. My mom's an educator. She was an English teacher most of my life, so I'm kind of a grammar Nazi myself.
That's why you use staunch?
Yeah, staunch and things like that. So, I have a big vocabulary, but my mom taught me how to use my mind to work my way out of things. I was a smart kid growing up. I'm still a smart guy. Sometimes my emotions get the best of me, so she definitely taught me growing up, to use logic and think rationally for things. So I guess that's how I can say it. She really taught me how to use my head, keep composed, and be compassionate for other people's situations. I talk a lot of shit and trash about other people, but if you meet me on, like, a day-to-day basis, I'm not like that at all. I'm actually really, or I try to be as understanding to other people as I can, and I think that that's in great deal due to my mother, and how she raised me to be respectful of, just as respectful to the janitor as you'd be to the CEO, if that makes sense. So my mom taught me a lot of respect, a lot of, empathy and compassion towards others, and just to, read a situation before I just jump into it, type stuff.
So we talked a lot about mom. Where's dad?
Dad's around. He's not like he's out of the picture. Me and my dad have had, like, a complicated relationship growing up, but it's not like he's not in my life really. He's just he's doing his own thing. He goes off, and he's got a girlfriend and a life, and we talk. Obviously, he's not detriment to my life. Obviously, I love my dad. We just don't see each other as much as I see my mom. You know what I mean? So every once in a while we get together. He comes to all of my fights. He's there every single time. He supports me. He actually does his own sports show, like TV, on like local, I think it's like a public broadcast place in Lowell. I've been on it before. So he promotes all of my bites and all of my, anything that I share that has my name on it. And he's very good about promoting my career. I would say that I'm closer with my mom just because I see her a lot more. And I have a different relationship with my mom than I do my dad. A little bit more distant with my dad, but not like in a resentful way. I think that we're just, two grown men, and we go about our business, and, we don't have a lot to say to each other. It's more like, hey, how are you? Are you doing good? I love you. Just check in, wanted to make sure you're good, and things like that. So my dad's, not super active in my life, but not like, I don't know, I guess that sounds negative, more negative than it is. My mother is just much more involved in what I'm doing than I would say he is in a different aspect. So he's around, we talk, we have a good relationship. We're, I'd say as I've grown up, I've gotten better in the relationship with my dad. I think as I was a young kid, I struggled a lot with what was going on with my parents' divorce and stuff like that, and so I kind of resented him. But as I've grown up and gotten to talk to him, like as a man, I've understood my father a little bit better, and so I think that our relationship has grown since I've become a little bit older and been able to just tell him straight about how I feel about certain things. So my dad and I have a good relationship. It's just not, I would say, as intimate as me and my mother's is, just because she's so openly and actively involved in everything that I do.
How many times a week do you make this ride?
4, and then I have a strength and conditioning day, and then I take my rest day.
World-class gym, but this is the hood, my guy. You know what I mean? This is a low-class neighborhood. Somerville, Massachusetts. Just like Lowell, Massachusetts, anywhere else, you'll find
Lynn,
gyms in shitty places.
Lynn, City of Sin.
Lynn, City of Sin, don't come out the way you come in. Excuse me.
We in this mood?
Yeah.
Hey, Shaun. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Same what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like, I woke up last weight cut. Aaron Hughes. 7-second knockout. Actually pissing me off. Perrin, the champ. Damn straight. Champ. So that's an Emmy champ coming at you. You know what I mean?
That's not crazy.
No, mine are green. They're different.
Hospital green.
I got my own room and everything. I don't care. I look forward to the socks from the hospital. Maybe I'm old. But socks, any pair of fresh socks is the best gift you can give me. It really is. It's nothing better than putting on a fresh pair of socks.
Point his legs in one direction.
Oh yeah, see how you can just kind of settle in my hips there? Just
Now you're back on the foreleg. Take
Now
your
go
time.
perfect, good. You're back where you're at.
As a leader in like a prominent person that's, like a personality in the gym, it's my job to make sure that everybody gets what they need from me, and if that means that I can be helpful to my teammates any way that I can, then I will be. I'll always go out of my way to make sure that everybody gets what they need, technique-wise or just advice that I can give to them that's sound. I don't see it as being an inspiration. If they look up to me, then I really like that. That's cool, but if I make everybody else more selfishly better, then I get better because they give me better work. So it's just, I care about this group and everybody that walks through the door, and I want them to feel that way. So we're all here to get better, and the journey has given us a lot together, so I'd like to give it back to my teammates the best that I can. So if they look up to me, then cool, but if not, then we're all friends, so it doesn't really matter.
You just referenced the class, if they ever felt a dead body, as if this is
Very
a normal.
close. I said if you've ever lifted a dead
yeah,
body.
lifted it. So as if this is a normal occurrence with you. Is this something that's normal with you? Because it sounded as if it rolled
so
off your.
on camera, Shaun. I really can't. I can't comment. All I have to say is don't check the dumpster outside of Gaucho's. Sometimes you get some people. No, I'm just
Shit.
totally full of shit.
Gaucho's, I miss it.
Nope, I haven't lifted any dead bodies in a very long time. It's a really easy time because this is all he has. He can't swing the right legs around. That kind of makes, I don't want to go in.
Jeff's my brother, man. That's like my battle brother. You bleed, you sweat, you cry next to somebody, you cut weight next to him. I've been doing it with him for 2.5 years now, so I think we've been almost at every card together or close. Jeff's is, we're like fire and ice, really, is how I like to describe it. He's the perfect blend of power and explosiveness, and I'm more about maybe more technical and smooth and agility wise. We feed off of each other very well. So I think that he's been such an important part of my mentality and getting after it, and he's really focused on how I drill and the shit that I need. So Jeff has been he's my best friend here. So you know what I mean. Andy calls us the alpha midgets because we're so small, and we talk real big. So with Jeff by my side, I really don't think that there's anybody that in this area, at the very least, or even in the world, that I can't take with a training partner that's so devoted to helping me grow as a martial artist and be a better fighter. And that's vice versa. He's 4-0 too, and that comes from working with me and me working with him. So he's been a vital part of every single camp. Going forward, UFC, no UFC, Jeff will be next to me every single fight that I have.
Wait, did Jay just drop bars for Jeff Perez?
Going forward, UFC, no UFC, Jeff will be next to me.
Give it to me one more time.
Going forward, UFC, no UFC, Jeff will be next to me every single fight that I have.
Follow us on Instagram, watch us on YouTube, check us out on Facebook, visit us on Twitter, and stay tuned.